The new year is here, which means it's time for the best of the big fight. And that's the show we do every year at this time, where we try and put together a collage of all the best shows that we did during the year. Shows that, in a sense, summarize and explain what the year was about. So 2016, we did a large number of shows on demonetization and some of those factors. 2017 essentially seemed to be about two themes. And you can question and ask and debate whether the two were linked in some way or not. Theme number one was the rise and the rise of the BJP as an election machine. The year began with the BJP winning in Uttar Pradesh handsomely, and it ended with the BJP winning in Gujarat. Now, you could argue about the margin out there, but essentially, during the year, the BJP kept winning and winning elections. So that's the first set of the theme that we're going to talk about. And a second theme was, during the year, a continuing rise of the fringe in many areas. Hate speech, incidents of violence, which direction is the media going? All of those questions came up, and we kept debating it through the year. But let's start off with the first theme. The rise of the BJP as a continuing election machine, the likes of which perhaps we haven't seen in a long time. A hunger to win elections, a drive to win elections, one of the most powerful and popular leaders India has seen since independence in the form of Narendra Modi, and a really strong organization. Can this machine be stopped or slowed down, or is it going to roll on all the way into 2019? That's the big question. And we did a number of shows on this theme, starting with UP, ending with Gujarat. We are now heading for a big fight. The assembly elections are coming up, and this is a really crucial round of assembly elections, especially Uttar Pradesh, of course, but also for various reasons. Punjab, Manipur, Uttarakhand, Goa, all of them are important, and taken collectively, they will be seen as a major test. They'll be seen as a test of many things. Is the Modi magic still there? Can he still deliver votes? Can he still deliver seats and states to his party? Demonetization, this is a real test. All right, BJP can say we've tested demonetization in various panchayat elections and local elections, but this is at a different level. What's going to happen to the future of parties like the Samajwadi Party and others? Is the Congress going to be making a resurgence in one, two or more of these states? So lots of really big questions are going to get answered. Let's just dive straight first into the biggest state of them all, the state that is often called the kingmaker or the PM maker, and the stakes are always the highest here, Uttar Pradesh. Why don't I kick off with you, Gaurav Bhatia? Because at this stage, and it's interesting, you're having a situation where you as a Samajwadi Party, who've been rolling that state all this time, still aren't completely sure whether you're going to be fighting the elections as a united party or not. And if there is a split, which of the factions is going to get the cycle symbol, if any?
We are still optimistic, and since dialogues are on, that we would fight as a united Samajwadi Party, and that is also the need of the hour, considering we have two parties, especially the BJP and the BSP as opponents. The guidance and leadership has been that of Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav, and that is why a united SP is the need of the hour.
Sambit Patra.
This is an election, confusion versus clarity. The clarity of the ideas of Bharatiya Janata Party and confusion amongst all the other stakeholders. Look at the BSP, the SP and the Congress. As far as the Samajwadi Party is concerned, the confusion is in the symbol itself. Cycle kahan jayegi is the main term right now. You have the election standing on the doorstep, and the father and the son are pulling on the cycle. One the handle, one the rear end. So this is the confusion of the Samajwadi Party. Ambition of the family supersedes any development.
We are halfway through the election process in Uttar Pradesh, a little more than halfway through. It's try and understand some of the trends that are very clearly surfacing in UP. For example, polarization, what's happening to that entire development discourse, is that behind us? And also, what is the election in Uttar Pradesh and the final result? What is it actually going to mean for national politics? Those are two big questions that we will try and turn our attention to.
The Prime Minister, who never talked communal in 2014, which is why he got the surge that he, in 73 seats. I fail to understand why BJP limits itself to the typical RSS ideology which does not give them any extension beyond the captive vote bank that they have in the name of Hindutva.
Can I just question you on that? Sharad, hang on. Let me question you on that.
Yeah.
If things started to change after phase 3, and you're saying it's possible that things have started to change after phase 3, you could argue, I'm not saying this is the case, but you could argue it's precisely for that reason. BJP sensed that it wasn't doing that well, and then therefore decided to pull out the polarization card, and now the election's getting more and more polarized, and the BJP is doing better. In a sense, this is a theory I'm going to put out here. Are we seeing in the UP election of 2017 a return to some of the elections in the past, where once again identity politics is coming out more, once again the communal card is coming out more, once again the politics of polarization are going to work itself back? Is this going to be a 1980s or 1990s style election? It's a theory. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's a theory. Is that what's happening, Sharath, on the ground?
Well, I don't see that happening, because this is a triangular contest that works when it's a bipolar. In a triangular contest, this doesn't really work. They may try it. You know, that's why I was emphasizing on the fact that when you appeal in the name of religion, then your area, then your domain is limited, because you already have a captive vote bank. When you want to extend beyond that, you have to appeal beyond that, and that is a youth. You know, mind you, there's a huge chunk of youth which has been decisive in 2012, decisive in 2014, and I still feel that that is a voter which is not communalized, and which makes a lot of difference, which makes a considerable.
I want to come in on this.
In this election again,
just quickly come in.
And let me tell you, the youth.
No, but can I just quickly give a short comment? No, there is a short comment I want to make.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you think it's everybody's birthright to talk about Muslim vote from the time the elections have not even been announced. Okay. But for anyone, for a party to say, don't discriminate. No, I think you can't gang up like this. You can't gang up against like this. You can't gang up. Please listen. Let me finish. You can't drown my voice. But you can't drown my voice. Let me have my say. You can come in later. You cannot drown my voice.
Just because you are a ruling party,
you cannot drown my voice.
You can't shut us up. We'll still speak.
No, I will say what I have to say. I will keep quiet. I will listen to what he said. I will listen to you also.
It's a healthy habit. No. It's a healthy habit to keep quiet sometimes.
Finish what you're saying.
I'll finish, let them come in.
Yeah.
I think every party thinks it's their birthright to communalize, to talk of Muslim vote, which is direct communal appeasement, and to communalize your entire governance. Say you will do this only for a particular community because you think you can convert this into a vote bank. But for us to really call out that bluff, it becomes communalism. I think this is a warped kinds of thinking. I think both political parties and sections of the media are perverse in their understanding of secularism.
The Prime Minister is saying, let's focus on 2022. I only want to talk about development. Let's build a new India. Let's not get into any things of 125 crore Indians have to be focused upon. The signal sent by having Yogi Adityanath as the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh flies in the face of everything that the Prime Minister has been saying for the last week.
Vikramji, I do not know how you conclude the statements you are making just now. Yogi ji has not even taken oath. He has done nothing which will belie Prime Minister's faith that sabka saath, sabka vikas, we have to take everybody together. And as far as these allegations are concerned, when Narendra Bhai became the Prime Minister, or even when he became a candidate itself, the same narrative we had heard, which has been squarely and rightly rejected by this nation. So may I appeal to you, it is high time, please reject this. This is not true. And it only reflects a mindset which is still, talking 30 years back. Today's
I agree with you. I agree with you. Let's forget this whole secularism issue. Forget that. Let's take that off the table. Let's talk about development. The campaign is over. Tell me, what are the credentials of Mr. Yogi Adityanath that make him fit and capable to administer a state of 20 crore people? Sir, that is our question today. And I doubt that you have a fitting answer for that, sir. Forget secularism. Ho gayi campaign. Khatam ho gaya. Chunav khatam ho gaya, sir.
Sir, I don't think. Sir, can I talk? Let's have a decent, civilized debate. If we are getting into a bhindi market, I am not interested. Mr. Vikram Chandra, you are the anchor. If you can regulate the debate, fine. I don't want to get into a tutu meme. Okay, so I dislike this kind of a narrative which is being enacted here. Secondly, as far as the credentials of Mr. Yogi are concerned, can I?
Yeah, Mr. Khan,
as far as the narrative about Mr. Yogi Nath,
Sudhanshu, finish what you're saying.
Mr. Yogi Ji's suitability is concerned, a 5-time member parliament, who was the youngest member parliament in his first thing, to question his suitability by somebody who has been squarely vanquished, I think it doesn't behove him to even raise these issues. A party with 7 MLAs today talking about the suitability of somebody who has been elected by 325 MLAs. Please, let's have some...
Sir, regardless of the size, we are still in opposition, sir.
Polite.
And regardless of how much you like, let's continue to perform that function,
you be in the opposition. You be in...
Sir, we are mindful of our responsibility. I know you want us to be silent, but we will ask these questions and you will unfortunately have to answer them, sir.
Sir, can we be decent? I'm not getting...
Mohammed Khan... All right, Mohammed Khan, one second.
Mr. Chandra, can you regulate the debate?
Yes, I'm trying to.
Yes. If you can regulate, fine.
All right, Mohammed Khan, one second. Sudhanshu ji, one second. Let me just come back to what you started by saying, that why a question about Yogi Adityanath when he is just taken over and he is still to be sworn in as the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. That's a valid point. You know, it's possible he's going to be a very gentle, very kind, you know, inclusive, taking everyone with him, sort of a Chief Minister. It is possible. The reason why questions are being asked, though, is because of his past track record, not just the various charges that are against him, ranging from attempt to murder, rioting, promoting enmity between different groups. Also, the statements that he himself has made, whether on Shah Rukh Khan or Mother Teresa, or, you know, will install idols of Gauri Ganesh in every masjid if I'm given a chance. It's because of his past record that those questions are being asked right now.
Mr. Chandra, let me first talk about the criminality. Please go through the affidavit and you will discover that not one charge has been framed against him till date. In fact, only 3 of the cases have even been taken cognizance of by the court. Rest cases have not even been taken cognizance of. So as far as all that is concerned is here. The proof of the pudding is in its eating. 2.5 years down the line, has the NDA government shown even given you one instance where they have differentiated on the grounds of religion? No.
Look at this. 2014, the BJP wins at the centre, and it was a stunning victory, and again Narendra Modi got a lot of credit for that. After that, 2014 by and large seemed to be good electorally. Won Haryana, single largest party in Maharashtra, formed a government in Jharkhand, highest ever seats in Jammu and Kashmir so far. 2015, it all seemed as if it was going south. Aam Aadmi Party swept Delhi. Nitish Kumar won Bihar, again by a thumping majority. 2016, the BJP started to go on upsurge again, with Assam in particular not doing that well, though, in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala or in West Bengal. So that's where the position was. But now, in 2017, and perhaps you could also say post-demonetization, landslide victories in Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, government in Manipur and Goa, single largest party in municipal elections in Maharashtra, dislodged the Congress from the position of being the main opposition in Odisha, trounced the Aam Aadmi Party in the MCD elections in Delhi. The only piece of bad news electorally, I guess, was Punjab, and there it is a minor ally. So let me get all of you in. Given that this is the position, are we looking, is this a Modi wave? Is it a very strong Modi factor that's playing itself out? And if there is a strong Modi factor, what is the Modi factor? And I'm going to try and get everyone to analyze that for us as well.
No, I certainly concede that Mr. Modi is one of the most popular leaders that we have in the country. What are the reasons for that is certainly the opposition parties need to ponder upon. Whether he's popular and BJP is in this dominant position because of the propaganda war that the opposition, particularly the Aam Aadmi Party, that has been losing at the hands of the BJP, whether it's because of the media control, whether it's because of the muscle power and the money power, whether it's because of blatant...
So you mean the BJP is controlling the media?
Well, a certain section of the media, unfortunately, have become propagandists of the Bharatiya Janata Party. You know this much better than I do.
Yeah, but it's interesting you say this, because I can tell you as a media person, and I'm sure Tableen will echo that as well, you can't these days, or for a prolonged period of time, you can't wake up in the morning or open your social media accounts without 500 people jumping down your throat and saying you're a sold-out paid media, and you're paid by the opposition, not by the BJP. So it's, you know, you have to be, it's very difficult to be paid by both sides.
And nobody has had better media than the Aam Aadmi Party.
If you see the list of the states that you have lost, it's a long list. The entire map of India has moved from saffron, from blue, by the way, by and large, to becoming saffron. You're now down to what, 4 states, Punjab, Karnataka, and Karnataka is coming up for elections, so who knows, and 2 small states, you know, in the northeast. Despite that, we've heard many from the Congress saying, but we are now seeing the seeds of resurgence. On what basis are you making that claim?
Well, first of all, I don't think Gujarat was a loss. I think you'll be hard-pressed to find anyone in the Congress who thinks Gujarat was a loss. We won Gujarat. Despite all the odds, despite all the evidence, to us, no matter what the BJP says. But
what do you mean you don't think Gujarat was a loss? You lost the election. Now, you can say the margin was smaller, there were so many seats, we only lost by 2,000.
No, I'll tell you why.
When you're reading the history books, 2017, December, who won the Gujarat elections? It will say the BJP won the Gujarat elections with 99 seats.
I'm very glad that you refer to the history books, because the 3 things that happened in this election, and this is why we consider this a victory, is that 1, our Prime Minister demonstrated there is nothing he won't say or he won't do to win an election, no matter how divisive or hateful it is. The second thing the Prime Minister did, and this is where his legacy will be defined long after these elections are forgotten, this was where a Prime Minister accused another former Prime Minister of treason without any proof. This would mark one of the lowest points of his Prime Ministership. And thirdly, and this is why this election is another victory, because, Mr. Chandra, it marks the end of the BJP's, it marks the beginning of the end of the BJP's hateful brand of politics. I've always believed that brand of politics comes with an expiry date. That's the beauty of India. That's what our history has shown us. You can't mislead all of the people all of the time. And I think Gujarat is the first death knell in that direction. That's why the BJP is so worried.
And let's move now to the second theme that we spent a lot of time on in 2017. And that was a sort of continuing debate over where we're headed as a nation. Nationalism versus ultra-nationalism versus hyper-nationalism versus anti-nationalism, mob vigilantism, bans, should you eat this, should you not eat this, should you watch this, should you not watch this? Is this the rise of the fringe, or is this mainstream? Has the mainstream now become the fringe? Has the fringe become mainstream? All of those are questions that circled us all during the year. And as a result, we did a number of big fights and special episodes just on this theme. Yet another one of those weeks where we have been seeing a major big fight between those who are representing the nation, or ultra-nationalism or hyper-nationalism, call it what you want, who says they're defending the nation against the anti-nationals, and that's a large section of people. So there's been debates about the freedom of speech, there's been debates about what should happen and should not happen in campuses, who should be allowed to speak and who should not be allowed to speak, who is a traitor and who's not a traitor, who stands up for the Indian Army and who doesn't. All sorts of stuff has been happening all week long, and that's why we have got into our studio here on The Big Fight to really try and come to grips with this. What is this entire nationalism, anti-nationalism debate? What should and should not happen in campuses? What is freedom of speech and what is not? Major existentialist questions of the day. And it came up last year during JNU. It's back again during Ramjas and the aftermath. You know, part of the problem of why we are having so many arguments and discussions on this is, I really think there's almost a fake binary that is being created. Now, if you take a look, for example, at who the various people are and where he says, yes, you should be allowed to speak, but not if you are doing X, Y, Z. So this is the way the discourse right now in this country is being shaped. Here you have Exhibit A, and these are the ultra-left or the anti-national. This is the Afzal gang. They want to break up India. This is the Azadi lobby, Free Kashmir, anti-India slogans. These are the anti-nationals, and that's really terrible, right? So this is one big group of people. Hang on, let me finish, Azia. Now, can everyone just allow me to speak without interrupting for 2 minutes? So that's one set of people. Then you have the right, the super patriots, the hyper nationalists. Everyone else is a traitor. Send them all to Pakistan, arrest them, and lock them up. Right? All of the debate seems to be happening as if all the people of this country are either in Camp 1 or Camp 2, whereas actually my belief, and I could be wrong, is that 80 or 90% of people fall somewhere in between that. 80 or 90% of the country believe in this country, They are nationalistic, they are patriotic, they love India, they don't want the breakup of India, but at the same time, they also believe in freedom of speech, they also believe in diversity, they also disagree with persecution, they also believe that no one should be targeted. Am I right in that? Yes. Am I right? You agree with me? Wonderful, I'm so happy to hear that. Now, which of you disagrees with what I have said? And I'm telling you the reason why I'm saying all of this. Because if you look at the binary, hang on, let me say something to you. If you look at television shows, if you look at the discourse, if you are not agreeing with either of those camps, then you're the enemy, right? So if you're, even if you're in between, you're the 80% of people in between, you're anti-national. So if you say, well, Gurmehr Kaur has a right to speak, you're anti-national. Why?
No,
if you say that, hang on one second, let me finish. If you say that people should be allowed to speak, oh, that means you think it is okay that India should be broken up. No, you're not saying that. Yeah, exactly. There's something in between, and we have forgotten that there is a vast section in between.
That's right.
Vikram, what
now that I've got all of you nodding for the first time in this program,
one small thing.
I'm either going to give myself a medal or I'm going to get you all to comment.
Edit it later.
He's been trying very hard to waive the constitution, and I always get the minute somebody waives the constitution of India,
I want to show it.
He gets my attention. Yes. Now, I'm so glad you're waving the Constitution. Can you please open that book which is in your hand? It's the Constitution of India. Open it. Please refer now to the fundamental rights which are mentioned now there, including the fundamental freedom of speech. Found it in that Constitution?
Yeah.
Do you think it is correct, and do you think that should be upheld? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Do you agree on upholding the Constitution?
Yeah.
By everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, we are getting somewhere. That's really great.
But the point is,
wow.
But the point is,
here we have the ABVP.
Yeah. Everybody has a right to speak. See, everybody has a
Everyone
right
has
to
the right to speak.
But then there is something more to be said.
Now we're coming to the ifs and buts. Who doesn't have the right to speak?
No. Let me. If you have also the Constitution,
who doesn't have the right to speak?
If you have the right to, if you have the Constitution, you should also go to Article 19, and you should also go to Article 19(2).
Yes.
You should also go to Article 51(a)(c), which is the fundamental duty of every citizen. You should also go to preamble. You should also go to that the citizen solemnly resolves, and so you should also go to the fact that if the preamble says that
Article
the unity of the nation
says the freedom of speech,
so you have to see all of those things. You have to see all of those things. You have to also see what is the first constitutional amendment. You have to also see who brought the first constitutional amendment. What did he say? Nehruji said that the fundamental right has been this particular fundamental right in the introduction to that article. He says it has been interpreted in such a manner that it is impossible to understand. When the 16th constitutional amendment was being brought in 1963, when the communists have said that we are welcoming China, he also said something. He said that the sovereignty and unity must be brought there in. So if you say all of this, if you say all of this,
you're on a roll.
I have a right. I have also a right. The other thing is the right to dissent. The right to dissent. Sir, one point, sir.
I'm suspending your freedom.
No, sir, 1 point. Just 1 point. 1 point, sir. The left hegemony.
Article 19.4 of the Big Fight Constitution says I'm allowed to shut you at a certain point.
You can. But I have a valid point to make, sir.
So I'm invoking
but I have one more valid point to make. But just 1 point, sir.
Vikram,
Very brief point to make, sir.
I want to speak now.
Very brief point
I
to
want to
make, sir.
speak.
The right to dissent.
Yeah.
In the cases of university campuses, there is a bourgeois illusion which has been controlled by the left. We are breaking the shackles, and it is we are dissenting and against the majority narrative.
Can I get everyone else? One sec. Peace. Let peace prevail out.